what you doing way out here, little Joe? You're likely to get your brains out of walking in this sun.
Crusty, you know I couldn't go through the day without my constitutional. My horse spooked up in the mountains while I was checking fence. Probably halfway back to the Ponderosa by now.
Well, I should have known you wouldn't be walking if you could avoid it. Well, come on aboard. Oh, of course, when we get to Virginia City, I'm going to have to charge you for the 15 miles.
Anything's better than walking.
What's the delay? Get along, driver.
Stop the chatter. Driver, proceed immediately.
All right, it's all right, folks. Just giving a friend a lift. Well, come on up here. I've been looking for someone to draw with anyway. Besides, once we get moving, it's going to be a mite cooler up here than in there.
I don't know, it's a pretty good draft when that guy opened his mouth.
Everybody out of the coach.
Don't try nothing. You're a paying passenger.
I got no intention of trying anything.
Hey, look, gents, you may as well forget it and leave. We don't even have a money box aboard this trip.
Flancio.
I mean, shut up.
Put on your gun. All right, everybody out of the coach.
What's the meaning of this? Who are these men?
Take it easy, Mr. DeBose. This is what's known out here in the West as a stage holdup.
This is outrageous. Driver, I demand you do something.
With those guns pointing at me, Mr. DeBose, I've done just about everything I aim to.
No, Senor Dubois, do not be foolish.
He's taking the dowry. Without it, I am penniless.
Better penniless than dead.
Papa, don't be rash. Ricard is right.
We'll get him to my place. It's a lot closer to Virginia City.
Fortunately, appearances were deceiving. Your father is not near as badly hurt as we at first thought.
Ah, that is good news.
Little Joe, it was a wise move on your part to bring him here instead of the longer ride to Virginia City.
He's regained consciousness then.
Oh, yes, he certainly has. As a matter of fact, I had to give him a powder to keep him quiet. Little lady, your father certainly has gumption. You know he's just aching to get up and take after those road agents. He wants to bring back some sort of a chest. I told him it was silly.
It's not silly. It's my diary. Ricardo, what are you waiting for? Why do you not go after those bandits?
But, my dearest one, I was so concerned about your father. Now, I will go after those bandidos.
Oh, Don Ricardo, that isn't necessary. My sons are out scouting the countryside right now. I'm sure they'll catch up with them very soon.
In the meanwhile, Ben, Mr. Dubois must remain quiet. He's got to stay in bed at least 3 or 4 days. And I've got to get back to town. I'll look in on your father tomorrow.
Doctor?
Not at all. Bye.
Excuse me, I must go to my father.
Oh, mademoiselle, your father is resting now. Don't you think it might be better not to disturb him? Why don't you sit down here? We'll all have some refreshment.
I want to thank you, monsieur. You have been very kind to extend us your hospitality.
Well, I'm only sorry that you had such a bad experience. But our home is open to you, and I hope you'll feel as comfortable as possible.
You are most gracious, senor.
Oh, we are all very much in your debt.
Not at all.
Ricardo, what will happen if my diary will not be found?
Mademoiselle, you might have lost your lives.
No, you do not seem to understand, senor. You see, the dowry was worth almost $100,000.
Well, didn't you think it was kind of risky carrying such a fortune all the way from New Orleans?
We planned for the marriage to take place at a mission on my ranchero in California. It's an old family custom. As for the wedding, well, senor, the dowry must be there for everyone to see.
Oh, I didn't realize that the dowry had to be at the wedding ceremony.
It's an ancient custom for both our families.
You pardon me for saying so, senor, but under those circumstances, I thought you'd be much more perturbed over the theft of the chest.
I do not wear my emotions on my sleeve, Senor Cartwright. I am perturbed, deeply perturbed. Oh, not over the loss of the dowry itself. I'm a wealthy man in my own right. But unless the dowry is recovered or replaced, the custom of my family will forbid me to marry my lovely Michelle.
Just loving the girl isn't enough.
Love is the least important thing in a marriage between two families such as ours.
Oh, I see. You don't love her.
Joseph.
I did not say that, my friend.
Please, Ricardo, must we drag such intimate matters into the open?
Mr. Dubois is absolutely correct, Joseph. This is none of our concern. Mademoiselle, perhaps you would like to rest. Your room is upstairs right next to your father's.
I'd be happy to show Mr. Dubois over a room.
Merci, monsieur.
Don Ricardo, your room is right over here.
Oh, gracias. No, I'm not tired. But I would like to use this time to explore your ranchero.
I'm sure that Joseph would be very happy to show you around just as soon as you're ready.
Yes, that would be a wise idea. Your son seems most eager to help.
Would you, let's have some brandy.
Well, senor, I'm ready. You and your father have been most gracious hosts. I'm hoping to learn from your advanced techniques.
We better get started.
Oh, it's not necessary for you to waste your time, senor. I'm perfectly capable of finding my own way.
Well, are you sure you can make it all right by yourself?
Positive, amigo. Just point me in the direction to your branding corral.
Anything you say, senor.
Adios.
One more, two more. One for me and one for you. Please, Papa, Papa.
Well, actually, he's doing very well for a man who had a bullet in him only yesterday.
Why shouldn't I do well? With such friends as you have turned out to be, and your valiant son risking their lives to recover an old man's treasure. I would be very ungrateful to do otherwise.
One more. One more, Papa. Merci. It's all finished. Now, I'll take it down to the kitchen.
Good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You have a very devoted daughter.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's good to see you looking so much better.
Thank you.
First time we've had to talk.
I don't know how to thank you.
Well, the mere presence of a gentleman such as yourself and such a lovely daughter is quite sufficient, thanks.
Oh, Michelle is lovely.
Yes.
She's like her mother was.
Huh?
She died when Michelle was a baby. Perhaps it is just as well, for she didn't see my once ample fortune wiped out completely.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Foolish investments dissipated it completely. Everything except the dowry. I was determined not to touch that. And I was equally determined that Michelle should have a proper marriage. My family is one of the finest one in New Orleans, directly descended from the French royalty.
And Senor Fernandez?
He is directly descended from the Spanish royalty. And when Fernandez told me about his vast ranchero here in the West, it was obvious that he can provide for my daughter properly. And her dowry pleased him very much, too.
Why is a dowry so important to a man of wealth such as Senor Fernandez?
How can you describe the sky to a blind man? Our customs are ingrained in us. All I can say that dowry is a very important element in a marriage between families such as Dubois and Fernandez.
Oh, I've been making you talk much too much, and I'm terribly sorry. You should be resting now.
Oh, no.
I hope you rest very comfortably.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Not at all.
Well, they didn't get very far.
Just like we thought. That one with a bad wing held him up.
Hardly seems fair. There's only 3 of them.
That's right, brother. I tell you what. You take the one with the bad wing, and I'll take the other 2.
Well, I was thinking it ought to be the other way around.
You're surrounded. Drop your guns.
Nice working there, Adam?
Yeah, take a good look, because it's a rare sight indeed.
Very, very funny. Hey, you got the chest. What happened to the bandits?
Adam, boss.
Yeah. What happened? We got the jewels back, Paul, but we missed the thieves.
Well, I wouldn't worry about them as long as we got the girl's dowry back.
Yeah, but suppose the dowry turned out to be worthless.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, take a look at that. It's chipped.
Well, beautiful workmanship. These jewels look like glass.
What?
They're imitations. All imitations. Joe, is this the very same chest they took off the stagecoach?
I can't be sure. It looks like the same one.
Well, it's one sure way to find out. Let's ask them.
No, let's keep what we know to ourselves for the time being. Adam, why don't we fix the hinge on this chest so Mr. Dubois won't know that anybody's tampered with it, huh? Let's get in the barn.
Sort of peculiar, ain't it?
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking, though, about what Fernandez said about no dowry, no wedding.
Yeah?
I just wonder if he finds out the dowry's a fake, maybe there'll still be no wedding.
Now listen, Joe. If you got any notions about that gal, you forget them. Them Spaniards has got a temper plumb up to there. He'll tear you apart if you even wink at that gal.
Buenos dias, senor.
Hi.
Well, I have been inspecting your irrigation system. Ingenioso. I shall have my peons installed one like it on my own ranchero.
Thank you. This is my brother Hoss.
Hi.
Ah, the brothers who pursued the bandidos, eh?
That's right.
You were unsuccessful, huh?
Well, not exactly. We got the chest back.
And the bandidos?
Well, it seemed like they was a little more interested in saving their hides than they was the chest.
Well, I shall never be able to thank you enough for your heroic efforts. If it hadn't been for you and your brother, the dowry would have been lost forever. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I must go and tell Michel the good news.
I wonder how he's gonna feel when he finds out those jewels are phonies.
I don't know. I know how he's going to feel if he catches you fooling around with that gal. You leave her alone, you hear?
Yes, sir.
My dear Michel, have you heard the news? The dowry has been recovered.
Oh, Ricardo, marvelous. Now we can get married. Does it not please you?
Hmm? Oh, of course, of course. Now our plans can proceed without delay.
Ricardo, ever since we have left New Orleans, you scarcely seem to see me. You go for rides by yourself, you take walks alone. Does it not occur to you that I might like to accompany you?
I have much on my mind. Still, my dear, there will be lots of times for rides and walks on my own ranchero after we are married.
Sometimes I think it would have been much nicer if we had been married in New Orleans.
Well, it's as I told you before. The padre, who lives at the mission near my ranchero, is an old friend of the family. Well, he would be heartbroken if anybody but he officiated at my wedding. Now, you really must excuse me, my dear. I must not keep your father waiting.
Does it not matter if I am kept waiting?
Petulance does not become you, my flower. Soon you are going to be the donna of my ranchero, and you must learn to be gracious at all times. Now, I must go to tell your father about the recovery of the dowry.
Do you mind if I watch?
No, I don't mind at all.
I don't want to be a bother to you.
Oh, how can you bother me?
Are you sure I don't bother you?
Well, you know, I'm not exactly sure. You want to hand me another spike?
What's a spike?
Beats the heck out of me, huh?
Ricardo, fortune has smiled on an old man. The dowry has been recovered. Mr. Cartwright just brought it back to me.
Yes, I came by this afternoon to tell you, but you were asleep. Well, indeed, we are all fortunate. We're all fortunate. And especially to see you recovering so rapidly, Senor Dubois.
Well, the Dubois family is not only distinguished, but hardy. Your marriage to Michel will produce children who'll go strong and tall.
And I am going to name my first son Alexander.
Please do not speak of such things.
Why not, my child?
Because Ricardo seems to regret his pledge of betrothal to me.
No, that is not true. You are a prize to be cherished above all others. A man could have a wife no more charming or beautiful.
If you find me so attractive, Why do you not suggest a stroll in the moonlight? It's a lovely night, and it's proper. We are engaged.
Well, because to walk in the moonlight with one such as you is too much temptation for a mortal man like myself.
Bravo, Ricardo. You are a true gentleman.
The gentle part is correct, Papa.
Besides, I need my rest. Tomorrow morning, I plan to leave early for my ranchero.
Leave? Without us?
Well, you will be unable to travel for a week. Besides, I grow greatly worried about this absence from my ranchero. I fear that the peons are growing lazy, neglectful. You and Michel can follow later, and I will have things ready for your arrival.
You are talking logically, of course. We will talk about this further in the morning before you leave. Right now, I am in need of rest.
Of course, Senor Dubois. Until tomorrow. My dreams will be only of you.
He is indeed an aristocrat. Michel. I am afraid you offended him.
I meant to. He's so cold, so aloof.
Perhaps your young and romantic heart expects too much.
Perhaps you're right, Papa.
And what's more important, he can offer you what I was unable to give you in recent years. Wealth, security, servants to do your bidding.
And security for you too, Papa. This is one thing I really like Ricardo for. He insisted that you come and live with us.
It means nothing.
You do to me, Papa.
Stop thief!
Where'd that shot come from?
I don't know.
Papa, from his room.
We'll check outside.
You certainly couldn't have missed him by more than an inch or two.
But I did miss.
Papa, please don't get excited.
Well, the bandits are trying to steal my money, my fortune, the only fortune I have. And I'm not to be excited.
Now, Monsieur Dubois, Michel is right. You must not get excited. The important thing is that your chest is safe.
Dadgummit, I reckon they got away.
We didn't have much chance of catching them in the dark anyway.
Well, it's twice you let him get away.
Well, you're absolutely right. Tell you what, while Hoss and I get some sleep, you can have your opportunity. Now, they've tried twice to get the dowry, and chances are they'll try a third time, so why don't you just stay here and keep a vigilant watch, all right? Let's go.
You asked for that, little brother. Leave him out there till he gets moon blind.
Well, I take it you found absolutely nothing, huh?
He got away slick as a whistle, Paul.
Pretty odd.
Well, they were a brave bunch, sneaking in the house the way they did.
I bet they'd be fist-fighting mad if they discovered there wasn't nothing in that chest but a bunch of phony imitations.
No, you don't get my point. They could have been given information about the chest being on the stagecoach.
Yeah, but how did they know the chest was under Dubois' bed?
Yeah.
You know, someone had to tell them where the dowry chest was kept.
Paul, don't look at me.
What about Dubois himself?
Oh, I don't think so now. Now, whether Dubois knows that the chest is worthless or not, what would he gain by arranging to have it stolen?
Well, it leaves Ricardo.
Yeah, but why would he want to steal it? He's going to get the dowry anyhow as soon as he marries Michelle.
Hmm. Well, right now, there are only two things for sure. We know the chest is worthless. The bandits think it contains a fortune.
Well, what do you think we ought to do?
Nothing. Not right now. You two boys go to bed.
Ain't you going to go to bed? It's kind of late, Paul.
No, I'm not going to bed yet.
Well, with Pa thinking and Joe guarding, what's there left for me and you to do?
Not a dad-burn thing. Let's go to bed.
Right.
Well, they do not give up easily, these men, but I imagine after 2 failures, they will not try again.
Do you really think so, Ricardo?
Well, at least we are assured of sleep without further disturbance. I understand our host has posted guards around the house to keep us protected. For the second time, I shall say good night and also add my heartfelt respect for your vigilance and bravery. Good night.
Excuse me, Papa. Wait, Ricardo. I hope that what has happened has changed your mind about going on ahead without us. Papa, in his weakened condition, shouldn't be left alone with the responsibility of the dowry.
You are right, of course. No wonder I am so taken with you, my darling. I will wait, and we'll travel to California together.
Papa, what's wrong with Ricardo?
Why?
Do you think he no longer loves me?
Of course he loves you, ma petite.
But just now he refused to kiss me. It's something the matter with me?
There's nothing the matter with you, ma petite.
Papa, you should go to sleep now. It's bad for you to stay up late.
Come in. Oh, Mr. Cartwright. Come in.
Well, how are we feeling?
Mr. Cartwright, will you please see that he goes to sleep?
Miss Dubois, I shall be most pleased to see that he goes to sleep.
Thank you. Good night, Papa.
Good night,
Good night.
Good night. I just dropped by to make sure that everything was all right.
Of course I'm all right. You like it?
Beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship.
Thank you. I've made it myself.
You made this yourself?
Oui, monsieur. The creation of fine handpieces is my hobby. It was for many years. I gave quite a few to my friends.
Really?
Don't shoot.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
With all the excitement, I couldn't sleep.
How's your father?
Oh, he's fine. He's sleeping now. Thank you.
That's good. I don't think they'll be back tonight.
I hope not. Such a pretty night.
Yes, it is. You mind if I ask you a personal question?
No?
How can a beautiful girl like you want to marry a man who's more interested in your dowry than he is in you?
Sometimes I do wonder if Ricardo is more interested in the dowry than me.
Well, I know what I'd do if I was in his place.
What? Why did you do it?
Why did I do it? You wanted to see what I'd do if I was in his place.
You know, Ricardo's never kissed me.
Well, that's Ricardo's problem.
Ricardo is there.
Yeah, Ricardo is where?
Right behind you.
Right behind me? You see it?
Buenas noches, Michelle, Senor Cartwright.
Ricardo, please forgive me.
Forgive you for what? It's moonlight, and you are very beautiful. And Senor Cartwright is a mortal man.
That's a Spanish temper?
I've never been so insulted.
I still don't know why she wants to marry him.
Cosmo? Draw me one, huh?
Well, howdy, Ben.
Krusty, how are you? Good to see you.
Oh, fine. I always stop by here when I'm swinging back on my return trip. Just drink one of these and get the dust out of my gullet.
Say, I want to thank you for taking care of little Joe the way you did.
Oh, anytime. Oh, Ben, I was wondering about that old feller. You know, the one that got shot in the stagecoach holdup, that Mr.
Oh, you mean Monsieur Dubois?
Yeah, how is he?
Oh, just fine. Come along real good.
Oh, peculiar thing about that holdup.
Uh-huh.
You know the other fella, the Spanish dude, the one that's going to marry this Mr. Dubois' daughter?
Oh, you mean Don Ricardo Fernandez?
Oh, he's really something.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, he was always talking about this big spread he has at Traverse Wells in California.
Yeah?
Well, I was kind of curious about it, so I detoured the stage a couple of miles just to take a look at it.
Yeah?
Found out a funny thing.
Well, what did you find out?
Well, you know that spread he says he owns?
You mean he doesn't own it?
Oh, no, he owns it all right. But the funny thing is, though, that...
Well, what's so funny about it?
Now, look, would you mind piping down and let me finish my story?
Well, I wish you would finish it.
Well, I will as soon as I wipe some more of this alkali out of my throat.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to apologize about last night.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to slap you. I was angry with Don Ricardo. I'm not going to marry him. I wouldn't marry a man who takes so lightly finding his intended bride in the arms of another man.
Well, I have to admit, I wouldn't have taken the whole thing so lightly myself.
I'm sure you wouldn't have. As I said, Don Ricardo has no feelings for me.
Does he know yet that you've changed your mind about marrying him?
No, not yet. I'll tell him when I see him. Do you know where he is?
Well, I imagine he's riding around the ranch as usual.
Alone as usual. Well, I'll go and tell Papa about this.
shall never tire of riding around your magnificent Ponderosa. I have learned much. For some reason unknown to myself, I've offended you. I offer my apologies, whatever the reasons.
Your words merely add further insult, Don Ricardo. But it doesn't matter now. I have something to tell you.
And I shall give you my undivided attention, my dove. But before you speak, there is something that I'm forced to do.
No, don't! Ricardo, why did you do it?
I've decided, after all, Senor Joseph Cartwright, that your indiscretion of last night was indeed a serious insult to my name.
All right, what do you want to do about it?
I demand satisfaction.
Oh, that's fine. Why don't you step out of the way? Okay, how do you want to get it?
Like this.
Like that, huh?
Adam! Adam! Where are you? Come on! Stop! They're going to kill each other! What are you laughing about? He's going to get hurt.
Well, I wouldn't worry. Joe can take care of himself.
I'm not talking about Joe. I'm talking about Don Ricardo.
You get that nice suit all dirty.
Well, that is life.
Give it to him.
What are they fighting about?
Oh, it's a question of honor. Your brother kissed me last night.
Figures. It's not over yet. Wait a minute.
worthy opponent, Senor Joseph. You took your beating gracefully.
Oh, yeah, I thought I did.
Without the gloves, you'd have never taken it.
Well, what's going on here?
Well, it was a pretty good fight, Pa. Ricardo here was defending his honor, and little brother was defending himself. Sorry you and Hoss missed it.
Where is Hoss?
Oh, well, things were getting kind of dull around here, so he took himself a little nap.
Oh, he did, huh?
Monsieur Cartwright, it was a terrible fight. Oh, but my Ricardo, oh, he was magnificent.
Well, I wasn't so bad myself.
Your son is a worthy opponent, Senor. We fought to an honorable draw.
Well, isn't that interesting? While you two were fighting and you were watching and Hoss was sleeping, I saw 3 men riding up with the dowry.
My dowry?
Yeah?
Michelle.
Papa.
Your dowry was stolen.
My congratulations, Senor Fernandez. Your robbery was finally a success.
My robbery? Your loose words are insulting, Senor.
Oh, Senor Ricardo. Let's not have another fight. He finally succeeded at having Michelle's dowry stolen. Very clever scheme.
What do you mean?
Senor Fernandez.
Ricardo, did you steal my dowry?
The man is a charlatan, a liar, a thief, a man without honor.
Papa, please. Ricardo, why?
It is simple and shameful. I do not own a rich and vast ranchero. They're just a poor few acres. There is no big hacienda. Just an old sod hut.
I don't understand. You lied to me. You said that you loved me.
That is the one truth in the whole miserable business. When I met you in New Orleans and conceived the idea of the dowry, I had no feeling. But on the trip across the country, watching you, speaking to you, I fell in love.
It's a fine way to make love, lying and stealing.
Well, I tried to call off the robbery, but my men wouldn't hear of it when I met them on my rides around the Ponderosa. They were eager for the famous Dubois jewels. I tried to avoid you, to be cold to you, so that you would not be hurt when the marriage was canceled. But my pride could not permit me to do that.
I understand, Ricardo. The most important thing to me now is that you love me and that you're sorry about what happened. I love you.
Michelle, love. How can you love such a man?
Yes. How can you do that? After all you know about me.
I do what my heart tells me.
Well, you must lose this love. With all this foolishness, I'm going to go to prison.
Well, it kind of depends upon whether Senor Dubois is going to press charges.
Papa, please forgive him. Please.
Never. Monsieur Cartwright, I demand you notify the sheriff at once.
Michelle, may I speak with your father alone, please?
That will do no good. When he's like this, it's impossible.
Please.
Well, that's the way she goes.
Monsieur Dubois, you just heard your daughter say that she loved Don Ricardo.
Love, that's all I hear. He was after her dowry.
Well, he confessed as much. You know, I have a bit of a confession to make myself. I looked into your dowry chest. I saw all those magnificent jewels. Just beautiful. One thing that bothered me, though, I thought that the settings were not quite as fine as they might have been.
You mean the settings? Monsieur Cartwright, I think they are as good as any I've ever seen.
No, I felt that they were inferior compared to the jewels themselves.
What do you mean? Oh, they are magnificent, Monsieur Cartwright. I am an artist.
Yes, you are.
Very well. I utilized my skill in making fine guns to devise a fake dowry for Michelle. She needed one to be married properly. Oh, I wanted to tell them later on, sometimes that... I'm a foolish old man who couldn't even be successfully dishonest. Well, if I have to start to work like a peon in the fields, let us get on with it.
Oh, remember, you're all invited to the wedding celebration at my ranchero in 2 weeks.
Can I kiss the bride?
Joseph?
I can't kiss the bride.
You're going to meet that stage in Virginia City. You better get going. Have a good trip.
Right.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Doesn't know how lucky he was when he won that toss and didn't have to go on the cattle drive. I don't care if I never drive cattle again.
Yeah, sure dusty.
Dusty? I got enough dirt in my mouth to plant corn in.
Wash it out with this.
Thanks. I'll wash it out with something better than water. I wonder what's keeping Pa.
It's a lot of money.
Yep, and all for taxes.
Yeah, death and taxes. Stop complaining.
I'm just complaining about the dirt in my mouth.
Well, here it is. $10,000 drawn on Wells Fargo Company. Now, I've already endorsed it.
Isn't that kind of dangerous? I mean, anybody could cash it now.
Well, maybe it is, but we got to get this money to the Territorial Tax Office before noon on Saturday, and we've also got to get to the Double C Ranch before they sell off all that good stock.
All right. Who makes the trip to Genoa?
Well, Adam, you know all about our tax setup.
I accept. I'd much rather ride to Genoa than drive that breeding stock up through those mountains.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't? I think we ought to toss on it, Pa.
No, it's all settled. Adam, I guess you'd better get started right away.
Yep. Won't be safe in there.
Now, remember, you've got till the day after tomorrow. No longer.
I'll see you in about 4 days.
Sound like it was something important, Jeff.
It is. Another prison break.
How many this time?
2. Got away early this morning. Now, we want you to wire all town marshals and sheriffs in a 100-mile area. Ask them to organize posses.
All right, Jeff. I hope you catch them.
Always do. But these 2 are tough hombres. They're hold-up men and they're killers.
break it. This better be the place. I can't drag that chain another foot.
Ah, this is it, all right. As soon as Brubaker gets here with those horses, we'll be all the way
Better not forget
free.
the chisel to break these blasted chains.
No, he won't. He won't.
He won't. Well, you're betting a lot on him. Lousy guard.
Well, he may be a lousy prison guard, but he helped us escape. He set that chase going in the wrong direction. Oh, he'll be here all right.
Maybe.
Drooling for that money.
Well, see you boys made it all right.
Yeah, we made it. Where's the horses?
Yeah, where's the chisel to break these chains?
I risked enough letting you escape and setting a false trail. Any more than that, make the odds too high.
Too high for who, Brubaker?
For me. Come on, Trace. Where's the money?
It's all you care about's the money?
That 5,000 you got buried. Now, where is it?
All right. Guess there ain't nothing we can do about it, huh, Poindexter?
No. You want it or not?
Well, where is it?
Right here, Brubaker. You stupid prison guy. He fell for it, Trace.
You kill me, would you, Trace?
Get out of those clothes quick.
Helped escape, Trace, didn't I? Oh, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a chance to go back and tell that warden just how you did it. Get out of those clothes quick, I'll kill you.
That's only close enough for you, Trace. How about me?
There's a little town named Bowleg a few miles from here. We'll get you fixed up there.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. Come on. What's the holdup anyway? Let's get this whole thing over with.
We're waiting for Henry Neighbors.
And Billy McCord. If I didn't let that boy come along, he'd quit. But I sure hate leaving my stables untended.
Look, Townsend, you don't have to go if you don't want to. We're short-handed, what with the roundup and all.
Oh, I'll go. But I'm sure getting tired of these blind chases. Whole town is.
Oh, quit complaining. Think of the business I'm losing, having to close down my gambling tables and all. And 5 will get you 50. We come back with nothing but saddle sores.
I'm only doing what the territorial governor expects us to do.
Let's go get him, Sheriff. Sure would like to have me a couple of convict scalps.
Put that thing away before I take it away from you. And kids, settle down now. We're waiting for Henry Neighbors.
Kid, you finished cleaning out all them stalls?
Yeah.
You throw hay in them?
Yes, I threw hay in them. Hey, Sheriff, ain't that going to get me a badge?
Yeah, you'll get a badge against my better judgment.
Hey, here comes old Turkey Neck.
Henry, you got your slicker? It might rain. Remember, you caught a bad cold last time you went out with the boys.
I have it, Martha.
Your handkerchief?
Yes,
Good.
You think she's going along with us? I won't, Martha.
Hey, come on, old man. Them convicts ain't gonna wait for us.
Sorry I had to call on you again, Henry.
All right.
Here, let me take that. You'll stick yourself and bleed all over your clean shirt.
Thank you, Martha. I'll be with you in just a minute, Sheriff. Well, if we're going, let's get moving.
Oh, there's gloves in the saddle roll, Henry.
All right. Goodbye, Martha.
Goodbye, Henry. And Henry, I ain't worried about you running into them criminals, but don't fall off the horse.
I won't, Martha. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Henry. Here, I'll hold and you get on.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Martha. Come on. Come on.
Bye, Henry.
Goodbye.
Come on!
Let's get off. Let's give the horse time to rest a little bit.
Listen, Trace, these chains, we gotta be smart and keep moving. Posses will be combing the whole territory for us.
For us?
Well, yeah. Well, you wouldn't, Trace. I mean, after us busting out together and everything.
Here's where we part company. Now, you'd slow me down. Horse can't make any time riding double.
Oh, you can't do...
You move off over there about 20 feet. Move. Go on now. Now, here I'm gonna leave you this rifle. Now, if you get in any real trouble, now, you use it. Good luck, Poindexter.
Trace! Please! Hold it, mister. Now get down off from that horse. You heard me. Get down. Just unbuckle that gun belt. Throw it all out in front of you. Now get to shucking them clothes. You heard me?
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Better save some of that.
You sound just like your wife.
Well, we got no chance of finding anybody in all this country. Criminals don't come this way anyhow.
Maybe not, but we gotta try.
He could come this way.
Put that thing away.
You know something, Sheriff? I got a feeling. I'm gonna get my first notch.
Put it away.
Yes, sirree.
How you doing, Henry? You feel you can make a few more miles?
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about me.
Well, come on then.
Hello?
You all right?
Don't hit me no more. Please, don't hit me no more. No, please don't hit me no more. Please.
Just take it easy, old timer. I'm not gonna hit you. Here, let's have a look at that.
No.
Now. Come on.
No, please.
That doesn't seem to be too serious. See if we can get you over there on that cot. Get on your feet.
No, please. You ain't gonna hit me, are you? Please.
Come on, now. You're gonna be all right. Now, you just sit right down there, huh? There you go. See if that doesn't make it feel a little better, huh?
How many of you broke out of prison?
I mean, the clothes, they're not mine.
If you come here looking for your friend, he's been and gone. Right there's his leg irons, if you don't believe me.
How long has he been gone?
Well, I told you, he just left.
Listen, my name is Cartwright, Adam Cartwright. You see, this fellow drew
From
down on me. He took my...
Ponderosa way. Why, sure, I know your pa well. But what you doing in them there duds?
Well, like I was saying, this fella that hit you drew down on me, and he took my horse and my clothes, and... Well, I want to catch him, but quick. Now, I could use one of your horses and maybe some clothes and a gun if you got one.
How come you want to go after a dangerous hombre like that?
Well, it just so happened that there was a bank draft in my saddle pocket, about $10,000 worth, and I mean to get it back.
Well, I'm sorry. I ain't got no clothes for you. But the horse and gun you can have. That is, if that other fella didn't take it. No, here it is. He didn't find it. It's here, all right. Here you are.
Listen, do you think maybe you could get to the nearest town and maybe alert the sheriff there?
That'd be Bowlegs, and don't you worry none. I can make it. A crack on the head don't hurt an old desert rat like me. Good. Come on now, we better saddle you up a horse and quick, huh? You sure give me a start there. Why, you're one of them guards from the prison.
The convict got away in one of your horses, huh? Well, don't worry, old man. I'll get it back for you.
That wasn't the way it was at all. I'd give it to him.
Give him your horse?
Yeah, because a convict made him change clothes and stole his horse. And that real convict, he came here and made me take off his chains, and he hit me on the head right here.
Oh, who's this other fella?
Adam Cartwright. I know his whole family. And Adam, he went after that there convict to get his horse and saddle back. Well, he's just gotta.
He's gotta, huh? Why?
Because there's a bank draft in that there saddle pocket, and a big one.
A bank draft? Now, that's the same as money, ain't it? You know how much?
$10,000, he said. And I'm riding to the town for help right now.
Get in the house, old man. Come on.
Please, no, please.
Another 2 hours and we'll fry in our own grease. You slob.
Yeah, it'll be hot, all right. That's why the convicts had never come this way.
What's the matter? You don't like my coffee? Well, you know, maybe we should have brought along old Martha to do it for you. She button your shoes, don't she?
If this is the best you could do, maybe we should have brought her.
We should be safe enough. We're always getting up posses, but we don't never catch nobody.
Well, I got me a feeling this time.
You got a feeling. Well, I got a feeling. We don't get nothing for catching them, and it's 20 to 1. Another posse's already caught him down by the border.
We gotta look.
Why? Every day I'm away from my business, it costs me.
Business? You call that tin horn gambling joint a business?
Now, you shut up, stable boy. Get back to your shovel.
I'll kill you. You ever say that again, I'll kill you.
Cord, put that gun down. I said put it down.
You saw that, Sheriff. You saw that. Don't ever ask me to go riding posse with you again.
Shut up, all of you. Stop all this jaw wagging. We got enough to do without quarreling amongst ourselves. And you, McCord, you pull that gun again without reason, and I'll take it away from you.
Somebody put out that fire. Let's get back in the saddle.
looks like I'm going to get my first notch.
You shut up and keep still.
Come from over there.
Got time for a drink of water, Sheriff? My mouth's kind of dry.
So's mine. Come on.
Come on, boy. Let's go.
Come on, poke your head up again. I'll knock it off.
All right, drop it!
Glad to see you. Well, there's your prisoner. He waylaid me back down the road there and made me change clothes with him.
Take off your gun belt.
You don't understand. The man escaped from your prison, and he stopped me back there.
Take off your gun belt. Turn around.
You're making a mistake, mister. My name's Cartwright. What's all this about?
Get over by that tree.
Listen, McCord, you stay put.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Where you from, Sheriff?
I'm Hill from Bowlegs, looking for convicts. I guess we got one.
We got two. I'm Brubaker, territorial prison.
Which one's he?
It's Elmer Trace. Sheriff, that is not right. My name is Adam Cartwright.
Shut up.
I'll keep him shut.
Now, you listen to me, Sheriff. I am no convict.
Shut your mouth.
I want to get this thing straightened out. I'm not Elmer Trace.
I said shut up. Go ahead. Go ahead, hit me. I sure would like to kill you.
McCord, take it easy.
Why, he's a lousy convict. He just killed a man a few minutes ago. What do you expect me to do, hold his hand?
Take it easy, I said. We'll hear your story a little later. I hear this Elmer Trace is a real hard character.
Oh. Who do you think that dead man is over there?
Don't know.
It's his partner.
You mean he killed his partner?
Yeah, they probably waylaid some poor devil and then got into a quarrel about who's going to wear his clothes and ride his horse.
Well, Sheriff, shouldn't we search the prisoner or something?
Yeah, I was going to do that. Take those, will you?
It's terrible. Terrible. Killing and robbing.
You like lawn?
Well, like what?
Being a lawman, going on posses and all. Boy, I sure would.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I just love it. Running after some gun-happy convict with maggots where his brains ought to be. Waiting for him to bushwhack you. Yeah, I like it all right.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He's gonna get his. They're gonna hang him.
Will they? Judges and jury, all that, huh?
Search him good, Sheriff. I know these prisoners. They got knives and all kinds of things hidden on them.
Well, there ain't nothing on this one. I want to ask you some questions.
We already know all the answers.
Where'd you get that gun?
From an old prospector a little ways back.
What was his name?
I don't know.
You borrow a gun from a man you don't know his name?
Well, I'd have to tell you the whole story, or you won't believe any of it.
We ain't gonna believe none of it anyhow.
I'm still waiting to hear where you got that gun.
Hey. But there ain't nobody around here faster than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty fast with that thing, kid.
Well, I practice all the time.
What do you do when you're not practicing?
Work for Mr. Townsend in his livery stable.
Oh, what a shame. A man of your ability.
What I really want to be is a deputy. Full-time deputy.
Are you through with him?
Search him?
Yeah, nothing on him. He'll set the time across the saddle.
To get them good clothes.
Well, he obviously killed somebody for him.
Them rotten murders.
What do you suppose they'll do with him?
Oh, he'll get 5 years, maybe less.
5 years, maybe less for murder?
All he needs is a good lawyer.
There ought to be something we can do about it.
Maybe there is.
We'll be right with you.
Yeah.
I tell you, Sheriff, I'm not a convict.
Shut up, cowboy. We've heard enough out of you. Ten'll get you 40. You've done this before.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, no, McCord, you ain't gonna do that.
I ain't asking, Sheriff. I said we're gonna hang him.
I don't want another chirp out of you, boy.
They never take him in alive. You know how they take him in? Tied across the saddle.
That's right.
Let's go.
Hold it! I'll kill the first man that puts a rope on him.
This man here ain't worth taking in alive.
What kind of a law officer are you, anyway?
He's lawman enough to know that no jury's gonna hang him. They're gonna turn him loose.
That's for a jury to decide, not us.
Man has a right to prove his innocence. If you take me back to Genoa, you'll find that people back there know me.
I'd say we string him up.
I've had enough out of you. Shut up!
Give me that rope, kid.
I tell you what this man is doing here. He's stalling for time. It's a long way to Genoa. A lot can happen between here and there.
He's right. Why don't you listen to him?
All right, Sheriff. The prospector. The man that gave me the gun. Now, he lives only half a dozen miles from here. Take me back there. He knows me. So all I ask is a chance.
You men want him on your conscience? Well, I don't. All right, mister, that's what you get, a chance. Get him on the horse and let's go.
You serious about wanting to take a job, Lon?
Sure I am. I want that badge. That'll stop them.
Stop who?
Everybody's laughing at me behind my back. I know they do it. But that's why I'm gonna get them.
Easy, easy. You know I don't want that killer taken back alive. You help me, I help you.
Hey, inside! Come on out! This is Sheriff Hill from Bowlegs. I want to talk to you. Keep an eye on him. Hey! Open up!
The old fella's dead. I can't believe it. Go have a look. Not you. Cartwright. You're Trace, aren't you? Mm-hmm. You know what I want. They won't believe you. They want to hang you. Oh, the sheriff ain't going to be able to stop them. Would you hand me that little bank draft? I'll stop them. I got nothing to lose.
That's good enough for me. I say we hang him right now.
Well, it's what I've been telling you all along.
Guess we should have listened to the kid.
It's still not too late. You still holding out?
I'm against it. I'm against it, and so is Hill.
Hill, come on out here.
You try to stop us, I'll see you lose your job.
Don't you threaten me, Townsend. I ain't taking that kind of talk.
Well, now, if you don't want in on it, take a little walk till it's over.
Unbuckle that gun belt and drop it.
He was asking for it. Now there ain't nothing stopping us.
It's your last chance. Huh? Okay. You change your mind, you just let me know.
Stop or I'll shoot! Ain't gonna be no hanging. It ain't right. No, you take your hands away from that gun. Doesn't mean I won't shoot you, too. I don't know how to handle this, but the sheriff will know when he comes to. Now, you go on, get back to the shack and take him inside. Go on, hurry. Go on, hurry. I swear, you come any closer and I'll shoot.
Easy, easy. Watch his eyes.
You stay where you are, do you hear? I'm not fooling. You stay there or I'll shoot.
Relax it now.
Go on, hurry.
See if you can help him.
Thank you for what you've done, neighbors. You sure surprised me. Just keep that handkerchief pressed against the wound and the bleeding will stop. Right. I'll get you to a doctor as soon as we get out of this mess.
Why didn't you show me this bank draft before?
Well, I suspected the guard was Trace. I'd given you the draft then, he'd have killed you for it.
How did Trace know that you had it?
Well, I guess the prospector told him before he killed him. How you doing, Mr. Neighbors?
Weak.
Well, you lost a lot of blood.
It's beginning to hurt, too.
Think you're strong enough to guard that window?
I think so.
You giving me can hold this door?
Maybe.
Skidmore? That back window. Somebody's trying to sneak around the back.
Neighbors is watching that back window. Good. As long as they think that back window's being watched, they're not going to try to leave. We'll use that wagon over there.
The wagon?
It's a ram. We'll ram that door, huh?
Hey, McCord! Come here, I want to talk.
Go ahead, talk to him, kid. Make sure he doesn't open that door.
What do you want here?
You're making a mistake, McCord.
I know what I'm doing.
This fella here is Adam Cartwright.
Not gonna work.
I can prove it.
Lift up the tongue.
That fella you think's a prison guard is Elmer Trace.
I think you're lying. I think you got a gun pointed at that stupid sheriff of ours.
That's right, kid. Keep talking to him.
Hey, Hill? Hey, Hill, you tell Neighbors. You tell him I could have shot him between the eyes if I'd have wanted.
Kid,
Oh, Hill! We're coming in after him.
Okay, we'll push it from back.
Knocking that door down ain't going to do you no good, McCord. I'll shoot the first man that comes through.
Come on, push it.
Drop the gun.
All right, McCord, come on in here.
Thought you was gonna get off easy, didn't you?
I'll get the rope.
You too, Sheriff. All right, kid, back over here. Townsend, Skidmore, drop your guns. Come on! I'm about to get me $10,000, kid. Cartwright's got a bank draft that's worth that much. Now, you in with me, huh? 50-50? Partners? It's that or you're dead.
You lied to me.
Ah! Stupid! Come on, get over there, Sheriff. All right, Cartwright. I know you don't care much for Junior here. If you don't come up with that bank draft, this future lawman is dead.
Let the boy go, Trace. I'll give you the draft.
I thought he was a lawman. I made a big mistake.
Well, you didn't make the mistake you nearly could have made. All of you.
And you fellas don't have to worry about being called for posse duty again. You'd better find a way to thank Henry Neighbors. Now put him on a horse and get him to a doctor.
Yeah, let me get him. Here, Mr. Neighbors.
Take this one with you. I've known these men for years. Strange which one turned out to be the real man.
Yeah?
I hope I see you again.
Be a pleasure, Sheriff.
What happened to you?
Eyes all at once struck down. My heart and... Oh! My arm hurt something fierce.
You take it easy. I'll get you to a doctor.
No, I ain't gonna last long enough for no doctor to give me my money's worth. Just get me back to my camp.
All right. Just show me where your camp is. Take it easy.
Paul, hurry up with him, splints. Straighten up, I guess. Give me your handkerchief. Come
on, you ain't helpless.
Well, all right. What are you going to do with him?
Take care of him.
It's going to be a lot of trouble to you.
Poor lorn thing.
Well, Trudy, something like this happens every lambing time.
Go on, your mother. Go.
Trudy, I tell you what. Come fall, you fatten him up real good. I'll build a big fire, and we'll roast him.
Oh! Don't you dare think of such a thing!
Now, Trudy, I was just funning. Was this funny?
I'll get you good if you ain't. Grandpa. Grandpa. What did you do to him?
I found him this way on the trail.
He helped me, Trudy.
Give me a hand, we'll let him off the horse.
Let's lie him down.
Here we go, Pop. Take it easy.
Does the name Harker mean anything to you, girl?
No, Grandpa, it don't.
It's a rich family in San Francisco named Harker.
Yeah, they're the ones I'm talking about. They're your folks, Trudy, just as much as I am.
How could that be? I ain't never even heard of him.
Your father was Frank Harker, a fine, upstanding man.
Grandpa, why didn't you tell me all this before?
It wasn't easy to tell. You see, your mother met young Frank Harker in San Francisco. They fell in love. But the Harkers was high and mighty. They wasn't gonna have no hill girl with the name of Abigail Coombs in their family. No, sir. So, Frank and Abigail, they run away and got married.
What happened to him?
One day, Abigail came here with you. She told me that Frank had up and died. And she come to me because she had no place else to turn. She made me make a promise before she died.
What kind of promise?
She made me promise that I'd try to get you back to the Harkers and the things that were rightfully yours.
I've been happy here, Grandpa.
Seth, I'll take care of her. You know that. You don't have to worry about it.
Now, you stay out of this, you hear? I didn't raise her to marry no sheep herder. I want you to go to your rightful people, Trudy. Make them take you back.
I don't want to leave here, Grandpa.
I'm asking you for your promise, Trudy. Now, will you do as I ask?
I'll try, Grandpa.
And I'll need yours too, son.
You have my word.
Now I can rest easy.
He's gone.
Trudy, I put the ground sheet on for you just in case it comes up a rain or something.
Well, don't seem likely.
Well, you can't never tell about those things.
I put some bread and meat in there for you, too, if you get hungry.
Thank you, Paul. You look after that lamb now.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about that. Just don't you get to liking it down there too much.
You know I could never like anything but what's right here. Paul, I'm afeard.
Trudy.
I'm all trembly inside. I've never done nothing like this before.
Well, I don't like it neither. I don't like your grandpa sending you off to people you don't know and strangers taking care of you. I ought to be the one that's taking care of you, Trudy.
Thank you very kindly, Paul, but you ain't no kin of mine. You don't need to.
Well, I want to. You know I got a strong feeling for you.
Why, I didn't know nothing of the sort. You never spoke of it.
Well, there are things that you just don't speak right out.
How's a girl to know lest you tell her?
Well, you know now. I got all kinds of things planned for us I want to tell you about.
Paul, I want to hear about them things. I want to hear about all of them. There just ain't no time now. I gotta go and do what Grandpa made me promise.
Yeah, I guess you do. Well, you go on then. Don't worry about things. I'll watch over everything around here for you.
Thank you, Paul. And don't you fuss none, because I'll be back.
I'm hoping you will, Trudy.
You know I will.
Sure. Sure, I know you will.
Better get started.
Oh, well, the sooner I get going, the sooner I'll be back.
You take care of her now, you hear, Cartwright?
Don't you worry, I'll take good care of her.
Because I don't want anything to happen to her.
I'll be back before you know it.
Come on in.
It's bigger than a church.
I guess it is. Come on, I'll take you upstairs to your room. Yeah, this is your room right here.
Whoa, look at it. Is this whole place just for me?
Yeah, whole place just for you.
Oh, wait.
Just walk around and get acquainted. But I'm gonna go downstairs and heat up a couple of buckets of water. You could kind of wash up a little bit before my family gets here. Kind of pretty up.
Is it gonna be all right with him? I mean, me staying here?
Oh, yeah. My pa loves company. You leave that to me. You need anything, just call me. I'll be downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, little Joe. You've been real good to me.
Let's make yourself at home.
Oh, Joseph?
Hi, Pa.
Well, you, back early. How's the hunting?
Well, I didn't have any luck at all.
Joseph?
Yeah.
Whose horse is that outside?
A horse? Oh! That, just belongs to a friend of mine. Came back with me.
No.
Girl.
Oh? Where is she?
Oh, well. She's upstairs.
Oh?
Yeah, she's gonna take a bath.
Oh.
Pa, see, you don't understand, Pa.
No, you're right. I don't understand. I suppose you start explaining.
Explain. No, her name's Trudy.
Yes?
And, she's a fine, sweet girl.
Good.
She's gonna take a bath and stay with us for a while.
Gonna stay with us?
Oh, yeah, but just overnight. I mean, she wouldn't be any trouble at all. I don't think she'd be any trouble at all.
Good.
Do you think?
Well, I suppose I should meet him. No trouble at all.
What happened?
It's that tippy chair, little Joe. I fell clean over.
Are you all right?
Well, I reckon, but you ought to warn a buddy about them things. They ain't safe.
What happened in the chair?
It's broke.
Don't say anything. Trudy, I'd like you to meet my father. Pa, this is...
Howdy, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, Miss Coombs, it's a pleasure.
My name's Harker now, I guess, Mr. Cartwright. Oh, at least I think so.
Oh, well, from what little Joe told me,
Well, it's just that so much has been happening to me today. I'm not sure about anything, excepting that you folks are being right nice to go to all this trouble for me.
No, it's no trouble. Is it, Pa?
Oh, no, of course, no trouble at all. Trudy, we're going to be fixing supper pretty soon, and we're going to wash up, and I thought maybe you'd like to wash up.
Yeah, well, I was just bringing her the water when you came in, Pa.
Oh, never mind, little Joe. I can tell him. Oh, and don't you worry none about that tippy old chair, little Joe. It ain't broke much. I'll fix it myself first thing in the morning.
It ain't broke much. Joe, that girl wouldn't be safe in Virginia City by herself. You can't send her to San Francisco.
Well, why not? Her grandfather wanted me to.
No. You said that he wanted you to look after her.
Well, she has family in San Francisco. They can look after her.
Joe, suppose by chance she happens to find this family of hers, the Harkers?
Yeah, Harkers.
And suppose they don't take her in. And then what does she do? You know, a couple of 100 miles away from anybody she knows.
Why wouldn't they want to take her in? She's part of the family.
Joseph, you just told me Mr. Harker turned away her mother 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we don't have a guarantee he'll take her in, do we?
You really got yourself into something, didn't you?
Evening, Pa. Evening. I was wondering when you boys would get back. Hoss, what'd the doctor say about your arm?
Oh, it's all right, boy. He said I'd have full use of it in another week or two.
Oh, good. Listen. I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yeah, we know all about it, Paul. We met little Joe going into town a while ago.
Oh, that's our little brother. Goes out looking for a bear and brings back a girl.
Yeah. I hear them Harkers are pretty fancy folk there in San Francisco. We think we ought to dress or something before we meet this little gal?
Well, I don't think that will be necessary. This particular little gal wasn't brought up in San Francisco society.
Well, Joe didn't give us any details. He just said he was wiring the people. What's the story?
Well, there's this old man Coombs up in the mountains. Trudy, come on down. I want you to meet my other two sons. Miss Trudy Harker, my son Adam,
Howdy, Adam.
how you doing? And my son Hoss.
Howdy.
Howdy, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, you sure raised some fine ones. How'd you get them so big?
I guess it's the double helpings they're always eating. Trudy, how about some dinner? Joe went to Virginia City to send a telegram to your grandfather, but I think among the four of us, we ought to be able to rustle up something.
Oh, no, I'll do it.
No, Trudy.
No, sir. Cooking is a woman's job. I'll go see what's out there. If you got some, I'll fix you up some hogback and turnips. It'll only take a short while.
Hogback and turnips.
That don't sound bad at all, does it?
You know, I think that girl's gonna have a little trouble in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think our work is cut out for us.
What sort of work, Paul?
Making a young lady out of a mountain girl.
Hi.
Well, looks like you made out pretty well.
Yeah, pretty good. Set that telegram off.
Yeah?
I persuaded Mrs. Wilson to open up the store.
Did you buy all them packages of clothes for Trudy?
Yep. Wasn't an easy job, either. Tell me something. How'd you pick out the sizes? I just got Maisie from the saloon to come down and try things on for me. She's about the same size.
I'll be dead burn. Well, little brother, gotta hand it to you. When it comes to women, you're the real expert in the family.
Well, I just hope you're right. Hey, where's Trudy, anyway?
Good morning, Mr. Cartwright. Morning, Mr. Cartwright. Morning, Mr. Cartwright.
Trudy.
Morning, little Joe. Ooh, wee. I'm sure glad there ain't no more of you. I'd be plumb wore out. Oh, little Joe, I saw you ride up. Did you hear from Grandpa Harker yet?
I just sent the telegram last night. It'll take a little time. But I made a deal with a man in the telegraph office to bring it here just as soon as he gets it.
Trudy, like some coffee?
Oh, yeah, sure. There's one thing I like in the morning. It's good hot coffee.
And we noticed. I got you some new clothes for your trip to San Francisco.
New clothes? For me? Oh. Gee, thanks, little Joe. I ain't never had no store-bought clothes before. These don't look to be too sturdy, little Joe. Don't you reckon they'll wear out awful quick?
Trudy, why don't you take these upstairs and try them on there, and I'm sure your instincts will tell you what goes with what.
Yeah, little Joe, as soon as I get this stuff figured out, I'll come down and you can tell me if and I was right.
I think maybe you should have brought Maisie along.
No. Little brother's the expert. He don't need any help.
Well, Jeb just brought the telegram from Mr. Harker.
No?
I don't get it. He doesn't want her to come to San Francisco. He wants to come here. He'll be here in 2 weeks, just signed Harker. I don't know whether it's good or bad. I was so sure he'd want her to come there right away. Maybe he just wants to check, make sure this is really his granddaughter.
Yeah, maybe. There could be another reason.
What's that?
You know, Harkers are fairly wealthy people, from what I've been given to understand. And, well, they live a very social life. And, well, Trudy's from the mountains.
What does that got to do with it? She's part of the family.
Joe, you don't understand. For the last 19 years, Trudy's been hidden up in the mountains, away from civilization. The Harkers, you know, they live a life quite different from ours right here in the Ponderosa. Maybe they want to look the girl over. Maybe they don't think that she'll fit into their kind of life.
You mean I ain't good enough for him?
Well, Trudy, come on down. You look lovely.
That's it, ain't it? Just like my ma wasn't good enough.
Oh, no, Trudy, we were just talking. Yeah,
Just what does a buddy have to be one of them?
yeah, Trudy, let's look at it calmly now. They do lead a different kind of life, and they think differently and talk differently, and they dress differently.
Joe, could you teach me to talk and act like them before they get here?
Trudy, it's hard to learn a whole new way of life in 2 weeks.
But if I tried, would you help me? Well, little Joe, you promised my grandpa. Oh, it ain't for him, just. It's for me. To show him I'm a lady, too.
Trudy, Trudy, you are a lady. You have courage and you have honesty and, well, those are the things that a person should be judged on, not just clothes and manners.
Them things, though. Them clothes and manners. They're important to the Harkers, ain't they?
Yeah, well, they might be important.
Then I want to get them. Oh, it ain't just for my sake. It's for my ma's sake, too. Will you help me, little Joe?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll help you, Trudy.
Thank you.
Trudy, why don't you rest for a while? You've been going at it pretty hard now for a couple of days.
I don't have time, little Joe. I gotta learn it all, everything. Nobody's gonna say that I ain't. Nobody is going to say that I'm not fit. Just don't you give up on me, please, Joe.
Don't worry, I ain't. Okay, come on, let's try it again. Trudy, put your arms down.
You're making fun of me.
I am not making fun of you.
Well, nobody eats this way.
In San Francisco, the society people do eat this way.
With all of them forks?
All of these forks.
With all of these forks and spoons and glasses? Well, you don't need but one of each of them. And if you have to, you can get along without any of them.
Look, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Now, you're going to learn it. We're going to go through it again, all right? Starting from the left. What is this?
A fork.
Yes, I know it's a fork. What kind of a fork? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See? Okay. Ready to try it?
Well, might as well get my feet wet.
All right, now when a gentleman comes over and he wants to ask you to dance, he says, "May I have the pleasure of this dance?"
Pleasure? Ain't he taking a lot for granted?
Then you're supposed to say to him, "I'd be delighted."
Do I gotta say that?
Well, you have to say something like that. Why?
Well, what if I ain't delighted?
Well, just say it anyway, as a favor to me.
I guess that's so's that you won't feel bad if you don't want to dance with him, huh?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Now, come on. Now, put this arm here, see? And you take my hand there. Don't squeeze my hand so tight.
Well, I got a good, strong grip. I skinned and quartered an elk once all by myself.
Well, just relax when you're dancing, though. Try to think of your partner as...
Up in the mountains?
You mean Paul? Well, so much has been happening to me. I ain't thought about him much lately.
Yeah, I guess right now, tomorrow is the most important thing on your mind. So, don't you think you better get some sleep?
I'll try. But I won't shut my eyes a wink.
Where are those curling irons?
In a minute.
Right now and hot.
Here, I'll take those. Hey, hop singers, no hot water in the guest rooms.
Here, I'll take those.
5 people yelling all the time. Only one half sing.
Let me have those. I won't talk to Trudy anyway.
Is this fun?
I can't breathe. You're not supposed to. Now hold tight. Oh, I'm coming. Here, put this dress over your head.
These things are burning my hands.
I'm coming. Do the best you can. I'll be there. Oh,
come on, these things are hot.
Oh, well, all right. Hook up her dress. Sit down there.
Don't worry, you remember everything now?
I hope so.
Okay, what do you do with your butter knife?
I don't know.
Well, just keep watching me. Do whatever I do. What foot do you lead off with when you're dancing?
The left.
I lead off with the left. You lead off with the right.
The right. You're scalping me.
If you just hold still.
Little Joe, they're coming.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, little Joe, I can't remember nothing.
Just relax. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine.
I'm going to up and die. I just know it.
Mr. Harker,
Cartwright.
welcome to the Ponderosas.
Thank you, sir. My granddaughter, Stephanie.
How do you do?
How do you do?
My son, Adam.
How do you do?
Stephanie, Mr. Harker.
And my other son, Eric. We call him Horse.
I'm charmed, Horse.
No, ma'am, not horse, just plain horse.
Boys, would you look after the luggage, and perhaps Mr. Harker, Miss Harker will come into the house.
It's rather elegant, isn't it, Grandfather? Considering how deep we are in the wilderness.
Mr. Cartwright, I've been looking forward to meeting you for some years.
Well, thank you, sir. I didn't know San Francisco had ever heard of us.
We have. Your Ponderosa is quite famous, sir.
Well, thank you again. Now, I'm sure you must have had a long, tiring ride. You probably want to rest up a bit.
Well, you're very thoughtful, sir.
Mr. Cartwright, where's the young lady you promised to show us?
Well, I'm sure you...
Hold fast to me, little Joe.
Well, Miss Harker, Mr. Harker, my youngest son, Joseph.
I do.
How are you, sir?
And this, sir, is your granddaughter, Trudy.
Howdy do.
It's a pleasure, my child. My other granddaughter, Stephanie.
Howdy do.
How do you do?
I'm looking forward to chatting with you, young lady, after I've rested. Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, yes, of course. Excuse us.
Interesting. Most interesting.
I'll get a little more light in this room. That's better. And I'll get some hot water.
Will you please sit down a moment, Mr. Cartwright?
Of course.
If I may come directly to the point, sir. You know the reason I've come out here, don't you?
Well, I presume it's to see your granddaughter.
Precisely. I made a mistake 20 years ago in disowning my son. He was a strong man. He had a good, independent mind. Now, after I die, there will be little enough strength left in the Harker family. Stephanie will run through my money in a year.
Oh. Shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. Huh?
Yes, I'm afraid that's true. In my old age, I'm looking for an element of strength. My son's strength, if you will, to bring back into the Harker family. I'm hoping there's some of that strength in young Trudy.
Well, Mr. Harker, I don't know if Trudy's going to be everything that you might want it to be. But I do know this. She's your granddaughter.
Everything happened so fast, little Joe. I didn't get a chance to do anything.
Oh, don't you worry about it. I think you said howdy very well. Besides, you're going to get a chance to show up at dinner time.
Oh, and that's Stephanie. Have you ever seen anyone so beautiful? I'm going to look like a new clip sheep next to her.
Now, look, I think you're prettier than she is, and don't you forget it.
All right, little Joe.
Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, hi. I thought you were going to rest for a little while.
Oh, I'm much too excited to rest. It isn't every day that you meet an only cousin for the first time.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Joseph, would you be sweet and do us a favor? I would like so much to talk to Cousin Trudy alone for a while.
Oh, sure. Sure, I'll go check on Hop Sing, see how he's making out with the biscuits.
Well, now, Cousin Trudy, we must have a nice, long chat. Tell me about yourself, what you've been doing all these years.
Oh, well, I've been living up in the mountains with my grandpa, my other grandpa.
Oh, yes, the one who asked the Cartwrights to wire us about you. And what did he tell you about us? That we were very rich?
No, I mean, yes. He didn't mean anything.
Oh, don't apologize, my dear. Believe me, if I'd been you, stuck up there on some mountain, and learned that I had some very rich relatives, I would have tried to get to them much sooner than you did.
Oh, it's not that way. I mean, about the money. Grandpa said that you were all the kin I had.
And you were hoping to be reunited with us, weren't you?
Yes. I always thought the kinfolk should be together.
Oh, come now, Cousin Trudy. You wouldn't fit into our life in San Francisco any more than I could live on your mountain. Now, Grandfather Harker is a very reasonable man, and I'm sure that you can work out a nice financial arrangement with him.
Financial arrangement? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about money. Isn't that what you're really after?
Oh, but that's wrong. You're wrong. I don't want any money.
Hi, Trudy.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Well, I just came down to see how you was doing. I want to tell you that little lamb died this morning.
Lamb? Oh, what lamb?
Hey, you've changed, Trudy. Pretty dressed and everything. I almost didn't recognize you there for a minute.
Cousin Trudy, don't you introduce your acquaintances?
Oh, I'm sorry. Paul Magruder, this is my cousin Stephanie.
I do, ma'am.
How do you do? Are you a friend of Trudy's from up in the mountains?
Well, yes, we spoke for each other.
Does that mean that you're Trudy's fiance?
Well, I guess that's what it means. We're gonna get married.
Paul, I never said I would.
You didn't? Well, you said you're gonna come back.
My, but this is fascinating news. May I offer my congratulations?
Well, thank you, Cousin Stephanie, but nothing's settled yet.
Well, I would say it's all settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm sure an engaged couple must have lots to talk about.
Oh, Paul. Why did you have to come down here? And why just now?
Well, I missed you. I wanted to see what she's doing, that's all.
Well, I'm doing all right. Didn't you think I'd be able to manage things? And why did you have to tell her we was spoken for?
There ain't nothing wrong with a body telling the truth.
Well, it isn't the truth. Leastwise, not right now. I gotta find out about Grandpa Harker first. If he wants me, if I'm good enough.
Good enough? What do you mean, good enough?
Oh, Paul, you don't understand. Tonight is so important. Paul, please, you go on back to that mountain. And as soon as I know, I'll send for you.
You ain't coming back, are you, Trudy?
Paul, you just don't understand, please.
Hey, Paul, when'd you get here?
Hello, Joe. I just came down to see Trudy, that's all.
Come on inside.
No, she don't want to see me.
What are you talking about? Trudy tell you that?
Just the same as. She said she's going to send for me when her folks got her settled.
Doc, Paul, I don't think she meant that.
What's going on around here, little Joe? Something's changed her.
I think maybe she's a little upset. It's been a big day for her meeting her relatives.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I'd just like to meet them folks myself. You think you'd fix that up for me?
See any reason why not? Why don't we go to the bunkhouse and clean up? We'll have dinner in a little while.
Thank you, Hobson.
Mr. Cartwright, this fowl is delicious.
Simply marvelous. Which wine was used in the sauce?
I believe Hobson uses a sauterne, and the grapes of which are grown not too far from your part of the country, Mr. Harker.
Well, whatever it is, it's right tasty.
Paul, use your fork.
Cousin Trudy, why don't you let your friend eat in his own fashion?
Mr. Harker, I thought perhaps tomorrow we might ride around the Ponderosa, and then you can take a look at our livestock operation.
That'd be most interesting to me, Mr. Cartwright. I've told my business associates time and time again that the resources of this country...
Oh, piffle, grandfather. Do we have to go into that sort of thing now? My dear, you'll find that if you give a man half a chance, all he wants to talk about is business.
I suppose.
How about you, Mr. Magruder? I was hoping you might show us where you live.
Well, it's a pretty poor piece, ma'am. It's up in the high country on the North Fork of the Bushy Creek.
Bushy Creek. What a quaint name. Is that where you have your house?
Yes'm. Well, it's not a house exactly. It's a cabin.
Built it yourself, no doubt.
Sure did.
Including the dirt floor.
Stephanie, that'll be enough.
But grandfather, I was just asking about the house because I want to know if that's where he intends to take his wife.
Stephanie, I fail to see where any of this is our concern.
Grandfather, you mean Cousin Trudy hasn't told you that Mr. Magruder is her fiance? They're engaged to be married.
Trudy, is this true?
Well, you see, Grandpa,
Go ahead and tell him, Trudy.
Paul and me, we've known each other a long time.
Well, are you going to marry him? I guess she's not. Excuse me for pushing in here, Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, Paul, sit down. You're welcome here anytime, you know that.
Well, thank you very much, sir, but if it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay in a bunkhouse tonight. I gotta get back up to the mountain first thing in the morning. I got a lot of things to do. There's a meadow up there that ain't never been turned to plow. And there's a creek up there that I gotta dam up. There's things up there in the high country a man needs for his family and his children. It's important to me. I used to think it was important to you too, Trudy. I guess you found something else. Whatever it is, I wish you well.
I'm very sorry. I seem to have started something.
Yes. I think it's probably just as well.
I think you're wrong, Grandpa. Dead wrong. Maybe Paul didn't know which one of them doodads to scoop up his victuals with. And maybe I don't either. But I've had enough upbringing to know that you don't make fun of somebody sitting at the same table with you.
Trudy, I just want you to know that I'd be proud to have you come and live with me in San Francisco. Up to now, I felt that the Harker family had almost lost its last vestige of courage and honesty.
Grandpa, thank you. But I know where I belong now. It's with Paul and the things he believes in. And I guess it's high time I stopped trying to be something I'm not. I grew up on that mountain. And I reckon I belong there.
Trudy?
I'll be leaving come morning.
Well, Miss Stephanie, it was nice having you here at the Ponderosa.
Mr. Cartwright, I'd like to say...
As I told you before, Stephanie, you've said enough already.
I just wanted to thank you for your hospitality.
You're very welcome. Well, goodbye, sir. Hoss will meet you in Virginia City with your tickets for San Francisco. And I'm sorry that your trip wasn't all that you thought it would be.
On the contrary, I found the granddaughter I was looking for. The fact that she won't be living with me won't change that. No. Perhaps someday she'll come to see me. Will you please tell her that for me?
I think you can tell her that for yourself.
I just wanted to say goodbye, Grandpa Harker. Well, I'm sorry if I've disappointed you.
You didn't disappoint me, child. I'm proud of you. And when you feel like it, I hope both you and your husband will come to visit me.
Goodbye, Cousin Stephanie.
Goodbye, Trudy. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, Trudy, what now?
Well, little Joe's helping Paul tie my things on my horse, and I guess we'll be going.
Trudy, something I'd like to say to you. You're a real lady.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. At least I learned what a real lady is.